It's 7 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. You guys all have minutes to the last two meetings?
Hey, open meeting by 14.
If you've had time to read the minutes to the last two meetings, do I have any additions or corrections?
I have one comment. The vacant council position, it says it will be filled during
Yeah.
the general election.
That's what we thought at that time, because that's what Jerry had told us. I think the minutes are fine the way they are, and we'll be discussing that tonight. It's on the agenda tonight.
I just left it as is. That's what we thought at that time.
Any other additions or corrections? If not, then the minutes will stand. You guys have been given an agenda for tonight. Do you have a motion to approve the agenda? I have a motion by Jesse to approve the agenda. Do I have a second? A motion and a second. All in favor? We have a treasurer's report.
As of October 31st, Cornstalk has $1,308.60. Donations has $5,000. Wait a minute. Let's go down here to the bottom. So Cornstalk has $7,562.92. Donations has $1,055.69. General has $161,615.63. Library has $1,242.01. Playground has $8,000. Sewer, $12,320.03. Special City and Highway, $4,898.39. Special Parks and Rec, $224.12. Trash, $2,791.36. Water, $28,830.83 for a total of $228,540.98.
Are there any questions on for her on the transaction detail listing?
Yeah, did we ever get reimbursed from the roasters that Diane bought a couple months ago?
It will be, yeah, there's a bill in there that'll take care of that.
So,
Department's gonna pay for it.
yeah,
yeah.
fire department, they offered to do that at their last meeting, so they should be doing that, do this fee for that.
City owes the fire department for supplies that were bought for corn stock, so it's going to be deducted from the supplies that the city owes the fire department. I will. Or we can do it another way if you'd rather, that's fine too.
On to bills.
So Leo's salary is $250. I'm $250, Diane is $290. And the library tax revenue is $300. Seneca sanitation, $1,061. So street lights, let's start with these things that already are done. So we paid with the city debit card, $46.59 for Trick or Trunk, hot dogs and buns. We paid 4 rolls of postcard stamps at $35 a roll, $140. Okay, I'll let you do that one. Pretty much.
Okay, Ray's Apple Market, the corn stalk proceeds or the corn stalk bill was $696.63, which it's separated out back here. It was for hamburger buns, ketchup, mustard, kraut, tea, and then for the brats and the meat that went along with it, the brats and the hamburgers. So it was a total of $696.63. The fire department paid for the bill because we order for fire department and for for the city. The fire department, the meal, so both of the bills are back here. Here's the fire department's expense. Fire department paid a total of $1,221.53. So, and then the roasters were $195.94. So the city can reimburse the fire department $496.63, or if you would rather have
Oh,
separate
that's
transaction
$696 minus the,
minus this.
okay.
Yeah, if you'd rather have separate transactions, we can do that as well. It doesn't matter to
Anything
us.
else on there?
Nope, that's that. And then I also paid $29.97 with the debit card, but that's probably not on this month. That'll be on next month, because the guys ended up getting briquettes the day of. So,
And
but
that's
that'll be
for
on
briquettes
for corn stock, for the hamburgers and brats that we grill.
So this $29.97 is corn stock,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And the $696.63 is corn stock.
yes. That's the lunch stand.
So street lights to Evergy is $395.17. The community, this is Evergy's bill. The community center is $401.48. The city hall is $48.45. The museum is $24.06. Shop $23.41. Tower pump $23.41 and sewer $29.14 for a total of $549.95.
What was the sewer this one?
How much is that?
The sewer?
Sewer was $29.14.
Okay.
Last time it
Last was 63.
Yeah, it was a little high last time compared to usual. Falls City Mercantile Company was for cookie dough, for cookies, for Santa.
Santa.
That's $181.30. So $125.77 is the city, and then Nikki's is $55.53. So the city pays $125.77, and Nikki will reimburse $55.53? Okay.
And then she always buys the remainder cookie dough as well, so she will do that. Whatever one down needs.
Ram exterminators, $80 to
Get rid of the spiders in here.
this community center, yeah, community center. DK Electric, $300 to replace the welcome sign lights. Soother Building, $227.44 for air filters, picked up by Troy Kramer. Wait a minute. It's only $83.76 for air filters. And the previous balance was $143.68, and I wonder if that's that, still that.
We're not.
I thought they did. I think it's that. So we
Call
only,
them again.
I need to call them again.
Hey, or I can stop down there again tomorrow or so.
So it'll be $83.76 for the community center air filter. This is mowing by Gary Bowden, and it's for a year, the whole year, from April through October. Mowing the soccer field, the baseball fields, and the city mowing. 3,809. There's a little note here that says Dean Hyman's boys mowed 3 times. They were paid.
I think he paid them.
City mowed 1 time. They were paid. You understand that? So if I owe, I don't know.
I think he paid Dean's.
I remember
The
paying the
city.
boys.
Okay,
I wrote a check, but
okay.
I don't know what that little note means, if there's an extra time, if there's
I don't know what the
difference, we'll have to check that
Yeah,
out.
we have to check that out.
Marvin Planning Consultants, $1,400. And that's for the comprehensive plan. And it shows 50% percent complete to date, 51%. Adams Jones Law Firm, $770.
For what?
For what? Okay. Started out with a previous balance of $1,430. And then they received our payment from last time of $1,265, left an invoice of $605. And then the $605 is for, on 10/24, 1.2 hours, review questions and prepare answers, participate by telephone in city council meeting. And on 10/25, that was 10/24, 10/25, follow up on issues from the city council meeting, 1 hour. Total hours, 2.2 is $605. Then on this invoice was 919.6 hours, respond to questions regarding voting and meetings. So that's 165. The rate is $275 per hour. And that's it, that's all I have.
Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
Make a motion to pay the bills?
I have a motion by Kurt to pay the bills. Do I have a second? I have a second by Jesse. All in favor? Okay. Going to old business, community center update. The kitchen door closure.
just said basically, we need to just check with Soothers and pick one up, and he would install it unless somebody else wants to. I haven't checked with them yet.
Does somebody want to look into a door closure at Soothers?
He said they have really good ones, so.
I can. When they're checking on that door, or that door handle.
The furnace, it's been running and running, so I shut the toggle switch off, and John Morrison has been contacted about that. I did go through and change all of the filters that Troy had picked up. There's plenty more back there, should get us through the winter months. Probably should be done again around the first part of February. I guess we'll find out what he says about that one. It's the same unit that was running last year that I think he had to swap out a part on the inside and also on the outside last year. So we'll see what he says this time. But it's the same unit. Any other items for the community center? Usually this time of year, we do general cleaning. It's the only thing I have, which we have not done or scheduled. If anybody is thinking we should do that this year, or wait till spring, what's your thoughts?
Well, they probably always use it clean it.
Yeah,
I said
they
find
can.
time to do it.
Yep, finding the time. This is about the time we usually do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
October, November, December timeframe, usually around November. Okay. There's no discussion on that. We'll move on. We'll move on to the streets. Next era street proposal. Any discussion on that?
One thing I would say, I don't think a decision has been made, obviously, one way or the other. Dennis White did tell us last time that he has some suggestions on modifications to it. I think we should at least get those written up and sent to him, just so we still have our options available.
Okay. Would you suggest that we have a meeting with him? Or,
He had some, we can ask him what they were, and then we can kind of, maybe we would have to, I guess, but before he sends them directly to them. He had some pretty good suggestions, I don't know exactly what they were anymore.
okay. So are you wanting Diane to reach out to Dennis?
Either I can, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't care who reaches out, as long as somebody does it. That's what, I mean, if you want to,
Yep.
that would be great.
Do you want to have the next regular council meeting, or?
Well, at least he can at least email us at least what his thoughts are, and then we can discuss it, I guess, before we pass it out. At least we just have information.
Yeah, it's something that he thinks we need to have a special meeting for, whatever, our next meeting. He can be present then and we can discuss it. Or kind of has the draft, whatever he thinks it needs to be.
Okay, so we'll have Kurt reach out to Dennis to, I guess, to discuss some of the modifications on that proposal. Any other discussion on that?
I'll just, instead of discussing, I'll just get a draft of what his thoughts were, and then we'll discuss it later.
Okay, okay. Okay. Any other discussion? No? Okay. Moving on to ordinance violations, the Forever remodel. Troy had completed his inspection. He found that the foundation is good, other than a beam that needs to be sealed, and that the eaves of the house are wrapped, but needs to have siding completed. I think he spoke to Travis Jones, and that Travis had indicated that he would have Paper Camp Construction finish that. And those were his only findings to those?
Was there a timeline on completion of that, I guess, given, or just?
I don't know, Troy didn't report back to me about giving him that. If they're just working through it.
If Travis has the okay, that's the big part, so.
I'll check with Travis and make sure that Travis Jones has contacted him.
Maris Jones dog issue, that has been turned over to Dennis White. He has scheduled a hearing for November 26th at 7 p.m.
I'll let you guys know if he wants you guys there. You're welcome to attend, of course. Dallas, I think you had a little bit of an issue that if you could be here, that would be great. But I don't know that the rest of you have to be here or not. I emailed him later this afternoon and I didn't hear back, so. In Dallas, if you can't be there, you might let me know.
Yep, I will.
Might have to write up a report for the hearing.
Can do.
Okay. City Hall,
It's just, I have no idea. He said
Yeah.
it gets done when the,
I've been back there and looked, it's just a small, it's just a small hole. So it's not like it's, like a gaping hole or anything, so yeah, whenever he has time. Any other issues with City Hall? Okay. On to Zoning and Planning Commission update. We had a meeting the other day. Would one of you guys like to report to the council on that meeting?
Yep, so we met with Keith Morgan last week. He gave us just an initial draft of a comprehensive plan for Corning. We kind of went over each section as a group, going through and asking questions and fixing the layers and stuff. Nothing's been decided on. There's still a lot of conversation and things to go over. He also, at that time, gave us a draft of the zoning ordinance, which we are currently studying now, and we have plans to meet next Tuesday afternoon to continue discussion.
I believe Dan Rempe was there. I can't remember your name, I'm sorry.
Ian and Brian.
Yeah,
over there.
and the gentleman from NextEra.
Oh, that's right, Al.
Alan, I'm sorry. It escaped me. We're at that meeting.
So in your guys' mind, there's a comprehensive plan. Is there a lot of issues or discussion to be still done on it?
I am in a very much learning
Yeah.
setting position right now, and so there's definitely some things I think we're still needing to fix and look at. I don't know, it seems to be very simple and forthcoming to me. I don't know if you guys.
He's checking into some questions we had yet.
So on a survey, did we get to see what everybody wrote? Like everybody's?
That I don't
He
know.
compiled that.
I understand, but I like how he skewed it to one way, most of this information. It's like, I'd like to see the rest of the information on this and see what stuff you left out. You decided to just put it in here, and you decided to leave out.
Okay.
It's like, I can read, it's pretty simple. It's pretty much all leaned one way.
I mean, I think we can ask him for that.
The city paid for it, so
Yeah.
we'll be able to see it.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be nice to see the
None
whole
of us
results.
saw it, so I have no
Well,
idea.
that's
Yeah,
probably
I didn't
one reason
see
it's a
that.
draft.
I understand. If you already start to leave down stuff,
Rick, it was left stuff out the other way too.
you can,
Obviously.
he wouldn't have left that stuff out the other way.
Yeah.
We can request it.
I will. I will.
And are there some books that, Carlene asked for a couple of books for the library. Somebody came in and asked for one. So those planning books, planning commission books. She will ask for 2 for the library and a couple for the bank.
Okay. I'll have to see.
I have the one that he left for me.
Are there any more?
I do not have any more of those.
This is the
And
one that was
it's
sent out to
not
us.
like we
What's
can't
that?
make copies
This is
of
the one
it.
that- sent out?
I've got one for each of you guys,
Yeah.
so each of the council members.
So Carlene asked for 2 for the library, because somebody came in and asked.
Well, we'll probably have to make copies, so if somebody wants some open records requests, then.
So Carlene needs to say, or can I ask? She asked me. that.
No, I can get them. I can get them.
So is this the comprehensive plan draft, or are you talking about a zoning?
The
ordinance?
book has both
Has-
a draft in it, which you guys already have, and then it also has a draft ordinance.
Yeah.
And keep in mind it is,
What's that?
and keep in mind it is our
Draft.
first draft, yes.
Yes, and I spoke with Keith quite a little bit after the meeting, just, discussing things. So one thing that I hadn't really even put it all together because I really didn't know what a planning commission and the whole, what it all entailed and how it would pertain to me as opposed to, you guys on the council. And so I have decided, and I have a letter of resignation, I have decided to resign my position on that commission. Simply because as long as I am mayor, which I realize is not going to be too much longer, but I should not be in the position where I'm on both sides of that. So I have my letter of resignation from that position. And that being said, that would take our commission down to 5 persons, which he felt was perfectly fine. And he had, along with, I think, with some help, put together an amended ordinance. He thought that there should also, not only in our original ordinance, it did state who the members were, but he thought that it should also have an overlap of when people's timeframes, staggered terms similar to what ours are on the council, and to actually spell out the terms, which is a 3-year term. So I have a document here that was put together.
So remind me about the terms. Do they necessarily matter? The terms?
And
If the council decides to change something, the council can change something, correct?
Oh, yeah.
yes, by a majority vote of the governing body. Anyway, so this would be an amended ordinance. So I can read that ordinance. An ordinance amending ordinance number 102419 concerning the planning commission, be it ordained by the governing body of the city of Corning, the ordinance number 1024-2019 is hereby amended to read as follows. Section 1, pursuant to KSA 12-744, a planning commission for the city of Corning is hereby established to consist of 5 members in order to plan and zone outside the city limits. At least 2 of the members shall reside outside of but within 3 miles of the corporate city limits, or corporate limits of the city. Section 2, the initial planning commission members shall be the following and shall serve the initial terms indicated below unless such initial term is shortened by resignation or removal. Justin Stahlbalmer until January 1 of 2021. Diane Haverkamp until January 1 of 2022. Travis Haverkamp until January 1 of 2023. Jessica Dieters until January 1 of 2021. Greg Nehus until January 1 of 2022. Section 3, after the initial term of each planning commission member, each subsequently planning commission member appointed or reappointed to the position originally occupied by such member shall serve for a term of 3 years. Vacancies shall be filled by majority of vote of the governing body, and if it's passed, it would be passed the 20th day of November. So like Jessica says, a learning process. So at this time, I will ask if there's any motions to pass ordinance number 1120, 2019, to amend the ordinance, the previous ordinance.
I'll make a motion to.
I have a motion by Kurt. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and by Kurt and a second by Dallas. All in favor? All opposed? Okay, so I have 2 yes votes, 1 no vote, 1 abstaining vote, which would be a no vote. So I will elect my power to vote with a tie vote, and I will vote yes for ordinance number 1120, 2019. So it'll be passed by the governing body on the 20th day of November 2019. Any other items to discuss on zoning and planning commission? We'll go on to the lagoon fence. So Bruce and I walked around it, and he was telling me, oh, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Well, I decided that is out of my forte. I know nothing about fencing. I did go ahead and I have 3 people that I have gotten numbers for. If somebody would like to take that over that would know something about fencing. I have Robert Mosteller and Wayne Reshik and Dean Bossy are like the three local people. Would somebody like to take that on?
Like
Right.
to contact them.
Okay. These are the three people that I
Yeah.
looked up.
Yeah.
I have not reached out to them because I don't feel like I know enough about that to speak to them. Other than I can set up a time for them to come look at it, but they could tell me that it needs
Yeah.
stuff, and I wouldn't know the difference.
Who are the three? I'm sorry.
Robert Mostetler, Wayne Reshik, and Dean Bossy.
State yard signs. Okay, so I did get some quotes from Becky Breeding. 4x8 aluminum white painted sign with no lettering would be $90. She says those are pretty flimsy. You'd probably have to put some kind of backing with it. And with that, it would be like $45 shipping. So that makes it $135 without any lettering. She thought putting letters on it, no more than what we would put on it, would be maybe around $50 to $75. She could get us a 4x8 aluminum, white painted with corrugated plastic core, which would be a lot sturdier. And that runs about $180 with no shipping. And the lettering would, of course, be the same, between $50 and $75. So I called back up after I got those and talked to Patty Smelsley again, and she said, yeah, they just do the little road name signs, but she also said, though, that Dennis Ronavon has access to other signs, so he is supposed to be getting back with me, and he hasn't. He's been out of the office about the last 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks ago. I called again yesterday. He was supposed to give me a call. He still hasn't. So if you want me to, I will continue to try to get a bid from them also.
You said the large, the 4x8 was 180 without lettering
Without lettering.
and no shipping.
Yeah. Basically, you could have one for $135 without lettering, or $180. One you would probably have to support. The other one she thought would be strong enough to not need support.
Who's that person you contacted about that?
Becky Fleming.
Becky Fleming, Breeding. Becky Breeding.
I didn't know if you talked to the Rotting House up there, that's going on, or...
I could. What Rotting House?
Annette.
Annette Rotting House?
Her daughter comes in now.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to have at least more than one, just the one. That's why I was trying to see if Dennis would get back with me, and the lady that works in his office said, well, he could probably get about anything you want. It might just take a little while. So I'll get a hold of Annette then before the next meeting. Next thing on old business is our vacant council position. Any discussion on that?
So put in a runner-up person.
Did have somebody stop by my house, chat with me about it.
Did you?
Beth Brookine.
Being interested in filling the position? Yeah, she was interested in it. Quite honestly, I'm not opposed to waiting until the next.
Well, yeah, because since we're only a month from the new members, is there any reason we just can't wait and fill it at that time?
No?
But why don't you want to vote on it now?
We'd have to do the same both.
I understand.
We gotta be appointed and voted on then, Brian.
I don't, do it now.
I mean, I'm also willing to, I mean, we've really, I mean, obviously, people know it's open, but we've not really told anybody that asked, well, I mean, besides the people we directly call, so I say we at least wait until the next meeting, and at least, if anybody wants to talk to the council, come to us now, get your name in the hat, and we'll discuss you, basically, and then come up with somebody. If it happens next meeting, if it happens in January, whatever. But at least everybody is aware of us knowing, and plus, it is something that the next position that gets that many number of votes does matter. Whether it doesn't, we don't have to go with that person, but it does matter to me. So having a full list would help select somebody, in my opinion. So.
Okay. So nobody wants to make any motions there tonight? Okay. Any other old business? Oh, I guess we do have, no, that's new business. Okay, we'll go on to new business. Christmas festivities. I think this is kind of our, just what we have done in the past. We've done we had 65 to 70 kids in 2018 and took 15 bags around to retired persons prior to the tree lighting. So we'll probably make about 100 bags again. And the Christmas lighting is December.
I should write that down. It's December the 1st.
I thought it was December 1st.
December 1st at
On Sunday, yeah.
6 p.m.
There's one. Anyone help making that stuff?
Yeah,
Okay, well, just let me know.
it's December 1st, and I think it's at 6. It's on the Facebook flyer. I don't have it written, the time written down.
Okay. Trash service for next week will be picked up on Wednesday. And the last thing on the new business is corn stalk.
Okay,
We voted quite a few meetings ago that we'd like to use some of the money for lighting the volleyball courts in the park. I just wanted your guys' approval for discussion on that. Poles are up there. I got some quotes we'd have to trench lines we can pull off the bathroom, and then maybe put a bank of lights on the museum to light up the playground. Probably do dials, so you crank it, or timers, so that they will go off and not stay on forever. But it would increase your guys' electricity bill, and we probably mount on the museum, just come up to provide some light over to the playground.
So that,
Thoughts?
I guess, is that lighting, if you're wanting to use it, you go up, turn it on a timer, and then after so long,
It'll turn off.
it'll shut off.
We don't have to do that, but
Well, yeah.
just in case, what would happen if we don't. And they think we might be able to light the volleyball courts with one bank of lights, or on one side, so we might not have to point it at the neighboring properties. But there may need to be one on each side.
And those would be on timers also, and not be allowed to be on after a specific time.
Yeah, we could set that. I mean, the only time would probably be at Cornstalk if they play
Into the evening.
later into the night.
Well, I think that was one of the big concerns back in the day when we put the volleyball court in there, that some of the neighbors were concerned that there would be lights on
parties
all night.
long.
Yeah, all night long. But I don't think that's ever been a huge issue up there.
because the volleyball league's over by, well, now it's before dark, obviously.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's not like it's,
I mean, if you were worried about it, you could also put a padlock on the light switch.
yeah.
Just throw it out there.
On the dial or whatever.
Or lock it somehow.
Or like a plastic cover, instead of like a plastic cover, put like a lock on it. Or a plastic cover, cover would be better.
Probably something that they actually couldn't get into.
I mean, obviously, the weather now probably won't get done this fall or winter, but
Right.
we'd like to have it done before next corn stalk so that they can see that we're not just sitting on money. So,
Have you guys reached out to any of the neighbors to ask, just their opinion?
no, it'd be
Well, there is
Chad.
Chad and
and
Byron?
then,
Byron, you guys,
guys.
Vaughn. Your
Well,
brother.
I forgot time, I just
I just wanted to
courtesy
bring it up to
ask.
get you guys' blessing on before we just start trenching.
Anybody want to make a motion for them to be able to go ahead and do that? Or do you want them to reach out to the neighbors first?
I guess if we're not on timeline, I'd say reach out. I mean, I can reach out to them as well,
Okay.
and just ask. We can put it on the agenda for next meeting. I doubt they'll have a problem. with
No,
it, but
probably not.
I don't know, I guess I wouldn't have an issue, but
And do you guys need to see the quotes, or is that a core stock issue?
I think
You're
that's,
paying for it.
yeah,
Okay.
I think that's your issue.
It does affect our energy.
Right.
I mean, we're gonna get good lights and stuff like that, so if that's the case, yeah. it's fine.
We might want to see what type of lights.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, like just an idea of what's going on.
I'm assuming LEDs.
I would
I'm
guess
assuming so
that,
too, but I didn't have any idea.
I would guess
what
that
could go up or what.
whoever you're getting bids from might have an idea of what cost type, yeah.
We reached out to Michael and Eddie, so we haven't voted on which one to go
Right.
with yet. But sure
But they would probably be able to give you an estimate about what they think
Yep.
that would run if it would be left on. Or if it would be actually used more. Okay, any other discussion on that? Any other new business? No? Have a motion to adjourn the meeting then?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I have a motion. Go
I
ahead.
have a couple of questions. I was just curious on if you had any rough numbers on what the zoning was going to cost to install, I guess, install, and then how that was going to get paid for, and then also how are you going to, if there's a lawsuit because of that, you'd also pay for that, which is kind of my, because I don't know. So, if you answer any of them.
Well, I think a lot of those issues were discussed at meetings prior to this, I mean, several months ago on that.
Well, if you discuss them, then how much is it gonna cost?
Which item?
To
Enforce?
zoning and to.
Okay, to
And then the
hire,
board and then, like,
hire
so if somebody's
people.
violating the zoning or whatever, so then is there, how's all that gonna work? You're gonna have a certain penalty for this and that, and then,
within the zoning?
yeah.
Okay, within the zoning, that has not, none of that has been decided. That is at the very rough stages of being in front of us. And in fact, I have not even read all of the zoning portion of it. So what I have read does not have anything in there about penalties. So, but if you would like a copy of what we have right
Yeah.
now, then, we can make that available to you.
Okay,
And the cost for, to put the comprehensive plan and the zoning together from, our estimates from Keith Marvin was $10,000.
Okay, so is that something that I guess is an added on, like so your taxpayers just kind of absorb, so they just bring that?
That's all been
We have
paid
received,
for with donations.
yeah, we have received donations for that.
Okay, are you gonna get donations when people start suing?
Yeah, we do have people that have
We don't
pledged
know,
money for that.
we don't know that, Ben.
We have insurance as well.
Yes, we have insurance. So any other questions?
Now, I wanted to know, did you ever come up with the amount of insurance?
Yes, and we discussed that, the council discussed that with our lawyer
Okay.
at our meeting.
Okay, so I don't.
When we were
don't
in
get to
executive
know.
session.
How much is insurance, Jackie?
We have $1 million worth of, we have $1 million worth of insurance.
$1 million worth of insurance.
And we have, you know, like the linebackers,
Has a
on
deductible
it.
to it.
It does have a deductible to it. I don't remember right offhand.
I've got it.
That insurance doesn't protect the zoning. So that will, so the amount is.
But it will protect the
No,
But it
the
will.
attorneys.
Protect part of that.
Protect nothing in the courts.
Yeah.
That's what's in the-
Which is all stuff that we had discussed
Yes.
with our lawyer.
All right, I have a question. So as an elected official, you guys kind of all have to remain unbiased and, you know, listen to each side. So these text messages that went around to different members of the community, how does that make the city look and how are you doing? That's kind of being unbiased, I feel. Or calling people prior to meetings, saying that you need their support and you need them here. And so like messages that were received from people on this side, it's like junior high dance. On this side were the election results. Messages received from that side were, we need to get the majority, we need to get that open seat filled immediately. How does that look from coming from a city standpoint of people that are supposed to be unbiased listening to our city?
We can't
Control.
control what people do.
It's just like
So-
anything.
But I think it looks really bad on your guys' part, and I think that we should do something.
Somebody campaigns, you watch that every election year. There's,
Yeah.
you know, the people.
This was after
doing
the
stuff.
election.
What's that?
This was after the election.
That's why we didn't.
You guys could see.
Yes, you can see it from people's side, like, I don't care either way, but you guys need to look at what your people that are the face of your city, what they look like when they send those, and why it angers people. Like, we have the majority, we need to get someone in there immediately. That's not right.
That's why we didn't vote in the chat.
That's perfect, that's fine. Then remain
So-
that way, but like,
So
just
I
like say, you're
think,
elected
I
city.
think
that's
what
all.
you have for a panel of people up here they are trying to do their best.
Oh,
and
I
so-
promise you, I understand.
I know you do.
I get that, but phone calls early in the mornings and stuff
Yeah.
like that, because trying to persuade, I just think that that needs to remain unbiased and it needs
Yeah.
to be listened to both sides. I think that it needs to stop with the, I can't remember what it is.
Okay. Okay, well. Okay, do I have a second? I did have yeah. Do I have a second on the offer to adjourn the meeting?
What's that?
Do I have a second to adjourn the meeting? I have a second by Jesse. All in favor? Okay.